Now, bringing you the very best in New Hampshire-based local music on IPMNation.com and 100.1 The Planet, this is Local Outbreak. Joining us, it's his first time on the show. We have filmmaker Tyler LaPlant is here with us. Hello, Tyler.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So you are from Nashua, correct?
Yes.
Nashua, New Hampshire. And of course, you've got a short film called Joey's Big Reveal.
That I do, yes.
And tell us about it.
So I shot, a little bit about me. I've been working professionally in the film and television industry for coming up on 5 years, which is pretty great. Right now I work as a grip. So I work in the lighting department. And I've been doing that for a while, and I've always wanted to be a writer director. And, this isn't the first project that I've written and directed, but this is like the first real one.
Okay.
So this is Joey's Big Reveal, and I made it with a really incredible group of New England cast and crew. It's an absurdist comedy, and kind of in the veins of I Think You Should Leave. So I'm really, we're so close to being done. So I'm really excited to get it out there.
Yeah. So by the way, so you mentioned a grip. What is a grip? Because I remember, even when I was a kid, I would see in the closing credits of things like key grip and things like that.
Yeah.
And never knowing what that is. What does that mean?
So within, the way kind of movies work, you'll have, your camera department, your sound department, light department, whatnot. Within the lighting department, it's kind of split up between two groups.
Okay.
Grips and electricians. The best way for me to describe it is like electricians will set the lights up, and then grips, we diffuse the light, we add shadow. We also provide camera support. So if you're ever watching, a movie or show, and there's that shot where they're all, a camera's following them, that's a dolly shot. That typically, a dolly grip would be operating the piece of equipment that's actually making the camera move. So we do lighting, we do camera support.
Okay. So what got you started? When I listened to your interview on Ray's show.
Yeah. Shout out Ray Dudley, great guy.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met Ray, but I grew to like him very quickly listening to that interview. He's a great interviewer. So I really enjoyed it, and you were very good in that. I enjoyed your conversation with him. So I got to cheat a little bit, learn some things about you ahead of time. But so you were talking about, this was very interesting to me. So you had a job where your boss basically said to you one day, I don't think you want to be here, so I'm going to let you go, and you can go and make movies.
Yeah.
Tell that story for our listeners.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I was working at a place called New Sky Productions out of Nashua, New Hampshire, and they kind of focused on advertising and like kind of docu-style advertising for like local businesses in and around New England. And I was working under this guy, Grant Morrison, and I'd worked for him while I was in high school, and then after I'd graduated. And it was the summer I graduated and this was during COVID, by the way, so like 2020. The summer I graduated high school, he brought me into the office and said, like, hey man, you want to go make movies, like I could certainly have you here, but you're going to be wasting your ambition. Mm-hmm. It was really tough because like I loved working there, and I thought maybe like, okay, I'll do the advertisement thing and, maybe do something more practical. But that being fired from that really kind of, it was to this day, I still say thanks to him because now I'm out here making movies. I'm going to LA on Monday. So I'm really excited. So it opened a lot of doors.
So it was the right thing.
Oh yeah.
But that's tough love, right? I mean,
100%.
Because it sounds like he didn't call you in and say, hey, I'm thinking maybe you should get, like, he fired you. He literally,
he was straight up. He's like, I think you learned enough here. Go out and make movies. So,
yeah. So how did you feel like in that moment? Were you excited? Were you a little bit panicked? Were you like, I don't know.
Embarrassingly, I bawled my eyes out.
Did you? Yeah, because you said you actually loved working there.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I mean, it was a great environment. I was doing something cool and interesting, and I was kind of heartbroken. And then, but afterwards, I was like, yeah, no, this is the way to do it.
Yeah,
and it was probably one of the better times I've been fired in my life.
Right. So then what was your next move after that? Like right after that happened, what was the next thing that you did?
Actually, this is a great kind of segue for some of the cast for Joey's Big Reveal, because I worked on this short film. It's still on YouTube if you really want to find it. It's called Retribution. It's a short film that I shot, and two of my other buddies from Nashua, they wrote it and directed it together. And we brought on this guy named David Torres Jr. to play our bad guy, and our main, like mafia bad guy. And he came on, and it was actually his first. He just gotten into acting, and it was his first time like actually speaking, like for a role, like any role whatsoever.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh wow, that's really great. David and I kept in contact for past 5 years, and he's really been working on some great stuff, getting a lot of great experience. And I wrote this project, and Joey's Big Reveal is kind of like a mafioso type movie. So
yeah,
I needed somebody to play that. And I remember watching a movie he was in called Ephus that came out last year, a baseball movie, and I'm like, man, this guy really is truly fantastic. So I called him up, and I pretty much just gave him the part right then and there, and it's been history ever since.
Yeah. So did you like when you left that job? Was that like did you jump right into?
Oh yeah, I tried working on it. Pretty much the idea is like there's like I like to call it the short film circuit out of Massachusetts. So there's a lot of short films happening. So you hop on the Facebook group. I hopped on the Facebook groups, and I'm like, hey, I'd love to work on people's projects, whatever. Little to no experience, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
And I got reached out by Victor Herman and Jana Cipriano, and I ended up being the assistant director. You can put heavy quotations around that, because at the time I had no idea what an assistant director did. And I was like a glorified PA, but I worked on their films, Woodshedding by Victor and Trauma Bond by Jana. And that sort of got me in a position to meet a lot of industry professionals around the area. Mm-hmm. And, I started being a production assistant from that for about a year until I moved into the grip department. Yeah.
So you got busy quickly. It wasn't like you were languishing trying to figure out your next move necessarily. Like you jumped
later on.
What's that?
I said that would come later on.
Oh, really? Okay. But initially, like, you jumped right in.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'd be working for free, and then eventually I got really lucky and reached out to work on a couple of like really big projects, like very early on in my career. Confess Fletch, movie with John Hamm. It's a Chevy Chase remake. They filmed it out in Massachusetts, and I got a call from a buddy who I worked on the previous short films, and they're like, hey, come on, I'm going on vacation, come work on this $50 million movie.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I called out of my job at Home Depot at the time, and it was great.
Yeah. So something interesting too that you mentioned, and I remember hearing you say this to Ray too. You talked about the short film circuit. So is it because it never would have even necessarily occurred to me that there was a short film circuit, so to speak, but are there a lot more short films being made than maybe most people even realize?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of big projects, there's a lot of smaller projects, a lot of people trying to make like, Instagram type content, like comedy stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you have a lot of college kids, a lot of film schools around here, Keene State, Emerson. So you have a lot of them working on their movies. And then you have a lot of industry professionals who, are like, hey, I like making movies. So then you work on your friends' films, and there's a good amount. Like if you want to hop in, at least in Massachusetts, there is a healthy amount of projects that you could work at least for free to start until you kind of figure out what you're worth.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, like I said, I don't think most people realize just how much of that is being done. And so, what differentiates a short film? Well, let me ask it this way.
Sure.
How long can a short film be to still be considered a short film versus a feature film? Like, what's kind of the what's kind of the line in terms of, I mean, there's probably no like official rule, but
no, actually, believe it or not, I think there is like an official rule of like, I think it's anything over 60 minutes is like defined as a feature.
Okay.
Whereas, I don't know. I mean, I've worked on short films that, are 2 minutes long, and I've worked on short films that are 48 minutes long. Like,
yeah,
I think the idea is like, if you're under an hour, it's a short film.
Okay.
Is the sort of, I guess, like going basis. But,
yeah. Okay. Were there particular short films that inspired you to really want to do that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I worked on a project called Woodshedding, like really early on. Really close friend of mine and mentor, my buddy Victor Herman, wrote and directed and produced that movie. And, being with somebody like I think the guy's a fantastic writer director. Like his work really, really resonates with me. So, being able to work under a guy like that and get to become like not just a mentor, but just pals, just buddies. Like we get, we'll get together and watch movies together. Like, it's nice. So, to be able to have that was huge. So like Woodshedding was a big one for me. Trauma Bond was another big one for me. Early on, my movie Retribution that I shot, like that was like, it was just fun. And I felt happy with and proud of what I was making,
Right.
I've worked on a lot of really great stuff, in terms of short films, by Londo, Michael T., another incredible writer-director out of New England. We worked together on the Whitney Houston movie that came out a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, I've been fortunate enough to work on like big stuff, little stuff.
That's great.
But yeah, a lot of great short films around here.
Is there almost like in terms of working on a short film, is there something exciting about knowing that you're working on something that is you're going to get to the end of it quicker in theory? I mean, every project is different than say a feature film, because I would think if you're someone who, you want that, because there's a certain gratification that comes from that, right? When you complete anything, there's, you get that endorphin rush, right? When you create anything that matters to you. But with a short film, is there something appealing about, okay, it's a short film, it's not going to take as long to do as a feature film, so I'm going to get to see the end results of this and reach that end point quicker, and that's exciting, or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. It's it's different. I'm coming more from like a crew. I want to answer this more from a crew perspective of, not to sound hard and like, because I was just I love short films and working on them.
Yeah.
But it is hard. Typically they're unpaid and they're 12-hour days long, which is average day in on set working on movies. But so it's like a 12-hour long day. You're not being paid. Typically, the people who are producing the short film are green or there are issues. So it's like, maybe food isn't good, or maybe, everybody has to move their car 8 times because parking is a real pain.
Right.
And also it's like, there are definitely short films I've worked on that are very, very good, but there's a lot of short films that I've worked on that either like the script doesn't emotionally resonate with me or whatever. Like I'm helping a friend out, or like I have nothing going on this Sunday and they're like, hey, come work for $250. I'll be like, okay. So there's more of an emotional, I guess there's more of like an emotional return working on a feature because you have worked so long on it, whereas short films are just like, for me at least, like when I'm working on them from a crew perspective, they're kind of just like quick jobs. Like,
okay.
Like, yeah, this will be done and over with. Whereas a feature will be like, okay, like I'm here for anywhere from like 15 to like 60, 70 days, like depending on what it is. So,
interesting. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Tyler LaPlant. He's a filmmaker from Nashua, New Hampshire. So what are there a lot of differences? I mean, obviously a feature film has a larger budget, but in terms of the actual process of making a film, is there much different from making a short film and making a feature film?
No. I mean, I think it's obviously a much bigger task making a feature. Really everything from logistics to creative, but
a lot more moving parts, right?
The core, yes. Oh yeah. But the core of filmmaking can be found through the short film experience, where you need to write a cohesive script. You need to rewrite that script 5, 6, 7 times.
Yeah.
You need to raise funds. You need to work with actors and department heads and crew and dealing, I feel like maybe on features you'll have more producers so that you don't, as a director, you don't have to worry about this stuff so much.
Yeah.
But definitely on shorts, you're running around like crazy. So there's a lot of, I'm sorry, I might have lost track of the question a little bit.
This is good. No, you're answering it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely, you got to learn, you got to be really good. You got to be really good, and you got to be really on top of your stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's a short film or a feature film, because, if your short film's a nightmare, like, you have people who are giving up their time and money to be a part of this. You don't want to waste their time, and, you're on a limited budget. So it's like, I think there are ways that it's like harder on a short film because you don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Like, you might have a lot of boundaries. So, it's kind of a balance. Like, I find the writing process to be kind of long and arduous sometimes. So like, I want to make a feature, but right now I'm stuck, not stuck, but like I'm in the writing process, and that's going to take as long as it's going to take.
Right.
So if you have the time and patience for it, then you can make a short film. And if you have the time and patience for that, you can definitely make a feature film.
Okay. And then what differentiates a short film from, say, because we live in such an interesting time.
Yeah.
In terms of social media and what you can do. I mean, and because, these days anybody can take a cell phone with a good camera on it and record things and shoot things. And obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of people on social media, on YouTube, who consider themselves, some sort of short film. I mean, content creator has become sort of the catch-all term.
I hate that word so much. Oh, God.
Tell me why. I'm curious.
Well, that's the thing is like, okay, so there definitely are people who are content creators. They watch stuff, they make stuff for you to like watch and rot your brain with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who are like, this is the content that I make, and it's art. So you're an artist. Say you make art.
Right.
Like this whole idea that it's content, that it's something to, not to get all like, commie here, but like something to like buy and consume and spread out is like, I think it's like a little ridiculous, and I think it's degrading.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, like I don't look at, the way I look at Joey's Big Reveal, it's a short film. I spent almost near.
Damn is fine.
Oh, great. I spent damn near $10,000 making this movie.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not just about money, but it's like, I had 25 crew members. I had, 10 background actors. I had months and months of planning and prepping.
Yeah.
I had rewrites, and now I'm going through the editing process. So it's like, I'm putting in the work for it to be a short film, something that I would like to be a cinematic experience for my audience.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to knock, people on Instagram or TikTok that are making skits with their friends and they're considering that filmmaking. Like, yeah, that is filmmaking. Like, go out and make a movie with your phone. Like, if you need to want to make a movie, it needs to be something that, like, man, the only way I can feel like a person is if I'm making movies. That's how you're going to be successful, I think. So, like, if you're that type of person and your only resources is a cell phone and your two pals, then go for it, But the idea is that you want to move past that and you want to get better than that, because there's a whole world of filmmaking out there.
Right. You talked about, and you mentioned the budget, $10,000 that you've spent on Joey's Big Reveal. Like, what are some, because obviously some of the expenses are obvious, but some might be not so obvious. So for someone like me who's never worked in that realm, like, what are some of the things that you pay for with that money?
The big thing for me was paying my cast and crew.
Yeah.
That was a lot of short films kind of do the thing where, maybe the director of photography or the key grip and the gaffer and the sound guy get paid, but everybody else, kind of falls by the wayside.
Yeah.
It was really, really important for me that each one of my crew members was paid. It was I was working with SAG members, Screen Actors Guild, for anybody unfamiliar. So I was working with union members. It had to be, I had to pay my cast like a certain percentage. I think it's like, or not percentage. I think it's like 285 for micro budget. So it's like, that's automatically, I had 2 SAG-AFTRA members. Like, that's automatically, $600. Like, so it's like money adds up. So the big thing was labor. Probably the second biggest thing so far has been like post-production, just in that, again, paying my editor, paying my mixer, paying my color correction, the voiceover work that has to go into the movie. I've been trying, my big goal is everybody gets paid. A lot of short films and a lot of projects will try to exploit people's labor. And they know that they can get people to work for free.
Right.
And, my big thing is like, hey, this is how my buddies pay bills. And it's not much, but here's what I have. So most of that money went towards paying people. Yeah. And then you have food, you have costumes, you have, this lighter isn't working, we need to go get another one. And then you have a PA who decides to tip $30 on lunch, even though it's your money, like.
Has that happened?
Yeah, that happened on mine. That's okay. So it adds up.
Yeah.
It adds up.
Yeah. You almost have to be, because you talked about how when you're doing a short film, you have to be responsible for all these things that, like the money, for example. Like if you're making a feature and you're the director, well, you've got producers who are, you're not worried about the money. But with a short film, you're worried about everything. And it's almost like you have to be an accountant on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like.
Yeah, which I'm not a very good accountant. No, I mean, I do want to shout out the producers I had on here. Justine Leslie Smith, Matt, my buddy Matt Hernan, and Ted Omo. Like these 3 guys and gals really took great care of me. And, there's definitely a lot of decisions producing wise that I made myself, but, I had people to bounce off of and I had people supporting me. So
Excellent.
My producers really, really killed it.
Excellent. Is there something that's stood out to you as the biggest surprise in terms of as you're making a short film, something that you didn't expect? Or maybe a challenge that you didn't see coming?
Geez. Honestly, yeah, I think because I had to take on a lot of producing roles, there's a lot of stuff about my short film that, like specific aspects that I wish that I could change. Nothing too drastic. It's more just like a bunch of small things. And I've also, through editing, I kid you not, I've probably watched this thing over 200 times now. And, it's going to be a lot harder for me to, not nitpick after so long.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, I think the big challenge really, honestly, is like just mentally being like, okay, I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. It can be a lot. Like, like sometimes I get anxious about these sort of things. Like, it's, I don't want to make myself look like an idiot in front of like 25 people who are like my friends. And,
right.
That's not fun.
Right.
I've definitely worked on projects, features and shorts where, the director just kind of makes a real fool of himself. And, that's a huge pressure. So like I think it's just like the mental pressure of like having to be a successful leader, or at least attempting to be. Mm-hmm. It can be very daunting, but I like to think I did a decent job. The crew morale was good. So
good.
As long as everybody else is happy, I think I can be happy.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah. If you're just joining us, we have Tyler LaPlant from Nashua. He is a filmmaker, and we're talking about, he's got his short film, Joey's Big Reveal. You said this is the second one you've done, though? You did one before this?
I've directed and written like music videos and like several other projects.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. This is like the first like one where I'm like, hey, this is like kind of professional.
Okay.
Or this is like my step into doing something more professional.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious to hear about some of the music videos that you've done.
Sure. I did my first like real like big one, or not big one, but one with like a little bit of budget that I did was this song called Contact by an artist named Leonard Sweet. Okay. Really great guy. Actually my girlfriend Peyton, that was her supervisor, and she, connected us, and I produced and directed like his first music video. And that was great because that was my first time really, like, since like my doing films in high school, where like I had a crew, I had actors, I was directing people, and that was really a great experience. That music videos, if you look it up, Contact Leonard Sweet, it's all on YouTube.
Okay.
I did a music video for a Manchester band. Unfortunately, they're no longer together, but they were called the Graniteers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did their music video for Mind Slide.
Okay.
Which like a decent amount of people have seen, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then I did some stuff for Alfredo Beni.
Fredo, yeah.
Yeah, Fredo. Yeah, Fredo. So I've done some stuff with Fredo.
Cool.
I've done some live performance stuff, like little, small little things, like with my own camera.
Yeah.
Most recently, I worked on a Dropkick Murphys music video. That was really cool. I got to meet Ken. He's a real nice guy, Ken.
Ken Pacey, yep.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I've done, I did this music video for this Boston, I worked on in the lighting department. Flawed Mangoes, Surrealist, which is like, I think they're at like 2 million views now or something. Like it kind of blew up, which was cool.
Yeah.
I do like commercials, short films, features, music videos, corporate stuff. I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Try to stay busy.
That's excellent. I mean, doing music videos, is that probably
so
not
much fun?
Is it? Yeah.
Oh my God, so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like, working usually like I've worked on a lot of music videos where bands are either super chill and they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're like, yeah, you guys can do whatever you want. And then as soon as you show up, they have like a million ideas of like what they want to shoot.
Right.
So like it's kind of funny, like the balance of working with a band, but usually music videos are fun because like you're just doing stuff because it's cool. Like it's a cool lighting setup, it's a cool camera move, like it's a cool vignette. Like you don't need to worry about narrative, you don't need to worry about all this stuff. Like it can just be a purely aesthetic piece, which is really fun.
Yeah. No, that's great. Like what would be, I mean, obviously you don't have to say who it is, but what would be an example of a curve that you've kind of been thrown when you go to do a music video?
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna I will say the name of the band because this is a good curve. So it was on the Surrealist music video for Flawed Mangoes or Flaming Mangoes. I kind of forget the name. Sorry, guys. Anyway, but so I was working on their video and we were kind of wrapping up for the day. And then, the creative director of the band, whatever, he comes up to us, like me and Adrian Morano, who's a production designer, and they're like, hey, I was key grip on this music video. So anyway, director's like, hey man, we really want to have like a floating guitar gag. Can you do that? And we had no prep for this. We had no like whatever. So, I asked Adrian, I'm like, well, do you have fishing line? And she's like, yeah, I have some fishing line. I'm like, all right, cool. So we got 2 lighting stands, and we pretty much made like a goal post, and we raised it up about 10 feet, brought the line in, tied the guitar around the, the strap peg at the top.
Okay.
And then I had another piece of string at the bottom where the other peg was, and I would pretty much just like spin it.
Yeah.
And the band ended up using it for like the opening shot of the music video. It's like which is really, really sick.
Yeah.
That was a good curve. Like every now and then, like you get something that's like wasn't planned, but it is really cool.
Okay.
I worked on Walking Dead, Dead City.
Oh, no kidding.
We were filming something. We had to for VFX reasons, we had to like set up these. They're called bamboozles. They're pretty much like 2x4s with like fabric, and the fabric was like this like green screen, whatever. And they were doing a fire explosion, and the bamboozles all burned down. They got torched.
Yeah.
And then VFX comes with their flame retardant material. They set it up. It was fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why couldn't we have done that in the first place?
Right.
But I can't complain too much because making those bamboozles gave me 40 hours of work that week. So it's like, It's all a balance. Sometimes curves can be good. Curves can be bad.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So, all right. So tell us more about Joey's big reveal. What's kind of the plot here?
All right. So Joey's big reveal, it's a group of mafiosos are hanging out together. And one of them, Joey, kind of has a secret revealed out to his group. Chaos sort of ensues as Joey kind of breaks down, and then towards the end of the movie, we get to see like a night in the life of Joey, living with the secret that he lives with.
Okay.
And I promise it's a comedy.
Okay.
Watching it might not be obvious that it is.
Okay. Is it a dark comedy?
Something like that. It's okay if you didn't end up seeing it, but you should.
Well, I saw the clip that you sent us, but it was just a clip.
Well, yeah, it's only 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like stopped it, like it didn't show the whole, for some reason. Might have been a Google Drive issue.
Huh. Okay, that's really weird. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. No worries.
But yeah, it's a short. It's only the script was only like 5 or 6 pages long. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
You ever see the show I Think You Should Leave on Netflix?
I've heard about it, but I've not actually watched it, but I've heard a lot about it.
I'm heavily inspired by a guy named Tim Robinson. Tim Robinson and Connor O'Malley are kind of like my two big like comedy main comedy influences, and they really make some crazy outrageous stuff. So Joey's Big Reveal definitely toes the line between like awkwardness but comedy as well, and seriousness, and I don't know, I kind of want you guys to be a little confused watching it,
right?
Yeah.
So what inspired you to obviously, so you talked about your comedy influences. Do you like mob stuff?
Oh yeah. So I'm an Italian American.
Okay.
Yeah, so
LaPlant?
Yeah, long story. That's a different show.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm the Italian guy with a French last name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, big Scorsese guy, big, Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
I probably actually I don't know if I can say this on the radio, but anyway, big Italian American cinema guy. So the mob movies have always been big inspiration. This movie is definitely more absurdism than it is like mafia mob. It's more of like an aesthetic that I choose to use to like tell the story with.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a big mob guy.
Yeah. You like The Sopranos?
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah.
My favorite television series of all time.
I also love, good crime shows like Breaking Bad. Fantastic.
Okay. Yep.
I know it's not a crime show, but I'm in the midst of watching Mad Men right now. I'd never seen it before.
I never have either, actually.
It's really good.
Everyone tells me I would love it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, no, it's great. I watch it with my girlfriend. She really likes the show, and sorry, got a little
No, that's okay. There. No, it's easy to get sidetracked with mob stuff because, if you're really into it, you're really into it, which we obviously both are. I blame my mother for that because I remember when I was a kid, she was always talking about, she loved reading biographies about mobsters.
Yep.
Like she was really into John Dillinger and, the Chicago mobsters because she's from Chicago. So
nice,
she was really into all of that. And then she got me into it. And, so it makes sense that you would want to make something like that. Do you like, how are you, obviously you're still putting the finishing touches on this, shall we say. Do you know when this is going to be released officially?
Yeah. So I plan on doing the festival run.
Okay.
I will be doing like a big test screening so that people can come and check out the movie.
Yeah.
Which hopefully I'd like to do that sometime in like May or June. We're getting really, really close. But the idea, if you want to watch Joey's Big Reveal, go out to a film festival, watch it. After about a year and a half of doing festivals, I will throw it online. But I've already been building up the Instagram for that, so we're almost at 1,900 followers,
wow,
which is pretty cool.
Good.
So I want people to go and see it in festivals and experience it on the big screen.
Yep.
But I also spent a lot of time and money working on this one, so I want as many people to see it. So It will definitely be living online at the end of its festival run.
Now, so in terms of festivals, are these festivals where there's a category specifically for short films? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so most film festivals, like I'd say, like a majority of the entries are going to be short films.
Okay.
And then you will have, obviously the bigger ones, cons and
Sundance?
Yes, thank you. Sundance, Tribeca, like, they're all going to have more, feature films, and the feature films are going to take the cake there. But but there are definitely shorts that still play at the big ones, and a lot of local festivals, and a lot of festivals throughout the country. Like, really, most of what they're getting in are short films.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll go, watch some shorts, meet some filmmakers, do some networking. Yeah. Oh wow, there's a pigeon right there. That's
cool. The Falcon cam.
Wow, that's awesome. Sorry about that. I am like a squirrel with ADHD. It's bad.
Quite all right. Well, so do you think that helps you though in your work? ADHD?
No, not even a little bit.
No?
I don't know. Maybe like
the reason I ask you that question is so I have a friend, and longtime listeners are familiar with him. Longtime listeners of my show, Dr. Kevin Ross Emery, and he's written books about, like, he has a book called Managing the Gift, which is about how if you have ADD and ADHD, how the ways that it can actually help you, and you can use it to your advantage.
He's got to send me a copy.
Yeah, because you should talk to him. I should introduce you to him, because a lot of successful people, have that, or they just have very overactive minds, and it can actually help you to focus, because it's not necessarily that there's too many things distracting you. It's just that you have something specific that you want to focus on, that you want to be able to hyper focus on, and if you can do that, then it can actually help you solve problems quickly and get things done quicker. There's a lot of ways that you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm very scatterbrained, which does hurt me. I feel like it hurts me more than it helps me. However, having to like think of a lot of different solutions for things is something that I can do.
Yes.
You have to be a problem solver on set, whether you're a grip or you're a director or you're a production assistant. Like, you got to think on your feet. And if you want to be successful, you gotta be able to do that.
See, that's the thing. That's one of the things Dr. Kevin says is people with ADHD are excellent at solving problems.
Yeah.
Because they can think of solutions that most people can't think of. Things will occur to you that most people won't necessarily think of. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. And I kind of suspect that it might be something more helpful to you than you necessarily realize.
I think, there's a lot to handle, and I feel like I can handle it. Just every now and then I'll get myself into that almost like trance, like state of like, oh shoot, like I can't do anything today until I take care of this one specific thing.
Yes.
But then at least you're taking care of that thing. So it's like a balance. It's really a dance.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about, because I've never been diagnosed with anything like that, but I know that my brain works that way sometimes. Jenny would, she's not in the room, but she'd probably back me up on that. And I'll hyper focus on solving something specific where it's that thing. Like I never heard anyone describe it quite the way you just did, but you're right. That thing where you feel like you can't do anything else until you solve this specific problem that's in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that this is one of the things that I regret from Joey's big reveal is that, so my director of photography, Kat Holmes, positively fantastic. She's amazing to work with. She's amazing at what she does. She comes from a lighting background, so I'm a little bit more biased towards working with her. But anyway, she's fantastic. And I pretty much told her, I'm like, hey, look, there's like 2 or 3 shots I really want in this movie. Everything else is just like wides and coverage. Have fun. Mm-hmm. And I did that so that I could focus on my actors' performances. I could focus on making sure that they're nailing the bits. But the double-edged sword of that is like, yes, my movie looks great, but there's a lot of it that I'm like, man, I wish I thought about shots more. Like, I wish that I had, like sort of like a momentum building to a certain thing. Mm-hmm. And that's just one of the things as a filmmaker is like, it's same thing like the costume design. Like, I wish I went with a completely different costume design for my movie than what I did.
Really?
And, oh yeah, because like I had my buddy Victor gave me a note. He's like, I get that these guys are all like wearing like mafia adjacent outfits, but like, what is their relationship? Right. And that was a hard note, but a very good note, because I'm like, okay, if they're all wearing suits, then they're mafia guys. They're obviously together, but like, I got one guy in a tracksuit, one guy in a suit, and then 2 guys more casual, and I'm just like, damn it, like,
right.
So it's like there are things that I wish that I did. I believe very heavily in collaboration, so I'm very happy that I had such a great group of people around me to make my movie better. But there are definitely things like, camera shots and wardrobe that I just wish I thought more about. Yep. But I'm being tugged in so many different directions that there's only so much that I can do.
Exactly.
But no project's ever going to be perfect. It's a short film,
Right, exactly. If you're just joining us, we're talking with filmmaker Tyler LaPlant. Musicians talk about that too. They put out something and then they, we've had conversations on the show with various musicians. They'll say, well, I wish I had done this differently. I wish I had mixed this. That's a very common one. I wish I had mixed that differently or made sure that it was mixed differently or I wish the song was longer or shorter or whatever. So you're always going to have that. It even happens with, doing a radio show. It's an instant gratification thing. I come in and do it and it's live and bang, that's it. But when I go back and listen to it later, because I have to cut up the segments, post them individually and so forth, I'll often even just be like, oh, I misused that word. That wasn't the word I was looking for. Oh, why did I ask that question? That was dumb. It's hard not to be self-critical when you're a creative person, with anything that you make. It's, and I'll beat myself up over, I mispronounced that name or something, No,
and I think there's a good balance of that, because I think the best artists are critical of their work, and they're like, no, this is bad. Like, objectively, I made a bad choice here. And I think there are so many, especially filmmakers, like there's so many filmmakers that really just want to pat themselves on the back all the time and be like, oh, I made this movie. It was really, really hard. And I worked really, really hard on it. But that doesn't mean that it's a good movie.
Right.
And that's the thing is, like, and if you keep making like a short film each time and you're not getting better each time, then you're not growing or getting better as a filmmaker. And that's the thing with me is, like, I will be extremely hard on myself so that the next one is just a little bit better and the next one is a little bit better.
Right. No doubt. Do you already have in mind what the next one's going to be?
So I'm writing a feature right now called Cigarette Girls, and I'm in the moment of thinking about maybe ripping it up and starting new.
Really?
Like, same idea, different genre of music. It's about like these girls who work at a music venue and they sell cigarettes, and it gets taken over by like a extremist political group. So and they take the bar back. But anyway, so I'm writing now. Honestly, like, I have a couple of shorts that I want to do. My girlfriend goes to Wellesley University or Wellesley College, and that's like a famous, all women's school. Mona Lisa Smile, the whole thing. I kind of want to do a short film about like a boyfriends association of just all the guys who, like, hang out with each other because their girlfriends are very busy at this all female college. Yeah, just, it's something brewing around in my head. But if I'm being honest with you, I know this is going to sound like so hypocritical as you put the dun 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 music in or whatever, but I don't love watching short films. I don't love making them because I want to make features. That's the goal. And I'd rather, like, all the time and effort and resources that I put into making a short film, I'm like, man, I just want to be doing this for features, because features are more tangible, and I can, like, get a feature on Tubi, or it could, hit a festival and maybe blow up. Like, features are kind of where it's at. So I'd like to do like one or two more like shorts, and then pretty much devote my time into making features.
Right.
Yeah. I'd like to have a feature out before I'm 30, maybe. Knock on wood. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's excellent. Excellent. So, Joey's big reveal, forgive me if I asked you this already.
Sure.
Do you know when the official, or when it's going to be done?
So I gotta finish up the credit sequence, add in a couple of tiny things, and then it'll probably take a month for color correction and sound mixing. Okay. And then once that's done, I'll have a movie. So I'm looking at doing like a test screening night where, open to the general public to come test screen this movie. I say test screen. It is not a premiere. because festivals are very specific about that.
Okay.
This is a test screening of Joey's Big Reveal sometime in, I don't know, May or June.
Oh, that soon. Okay, great.
Hopefully, yeah.
Great.
We're getting really close.
Okay.
Yeah, we shot this back in like December, so
yeah.
I took a month off. My dog died, and then
sorry.
That sucked.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all right. You didn't kill her. Yeah. So I took a month off and got back into editing, and we've done like 4 or 5 rough drafts, and we're getting pretty close.
Yeah,
that's pretty close.
That's fantastic. Do you know where you're going to do the test screening? Are you going to do it in Nashua or?
I plan on doing it in Massachusetts. Sorry, New Hampshire people. Wow, another Falcon. Sorry. Anyway, I plan on doing New Hampshire. I plan on doing it in Massachusetts. I'd love to do it at like a really cool theater, like, the Regent Theater in Arlington, or, Coolidge Corner or Brattle, something like that.
Sure.
It's really just going to be a question of just like, what place can I afford to rent right now?
That makes sense.
But yeah, so hopefully very, very soon I'll send invites to you and everybody else.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Wonderful. Let's see. Well, is there anything you want us to know about Joey's Big Reveal that we didn't talk about? Did you mention any of the actors who are in it?
Oh yeah. Actually, I'd love to talk about like cast and crew super fast.
Yeah, please.
I literally I'm everybody, I don't believe in the auteur director like Wes Anderson or whatever. Like, I think he makes great movies, but I think it's, can I say BS, or is that gonna?
You can say BS.
Okay, cool. So I think the auteur director is BS because your Wes Anderson is just as good as his dolly grip, and I'm just as good as, or my movie's just as good as everybody else working on it. And so I really had an incredible cast and crew. Kat Holmes DPing, Mel Nestrick working as my gaffer. In terms of cast and crew, Joey is played by David Torres Jr., fantastic actor.
Okay.
Most recently, he was in this really big movie, or not big movie, but this movie kind of blew up called EFIS. It's a baseball slice of life movie. Another EFIS star, Peter Minkara, he plays Tony. My buddy Ashton O'Brien plays Alfredo. And this guy, Pat Shea, he's like Instagram famous, which is cool. He was like the last minute addition to our cast, because his, the guy who I had booked for his role like dropped out like 3 days before filming. And I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
So Pat Shea hopped in, and he was great to work with, and he plays Christopher. And, I had some buddies come on to be some background actors towards the end, but I don't want to give away too many too many people there. It's some spoiler territory, but
okay.
Yeah, really incredible local cast and crew. I love you guys. Thank you so much. If any of you end up listening to this, thank you so much. I owe this whole movie to everybody.
That's very cool. Very cool. What about Tyler, for people who want to keep up with everything that you're doing? Where should they go online?
Sure. So if you look up Joey's Big Reveal on Instagram, you can find my page there. We also have a Facebook page, Joey's Big Reveal. My Instagram, if you want to check out my photography or, just keep tabs on me, is Tyler Video 27. You can find updates on Joey's Big Reveal there as well. I'm mostly active on Instagram.
Okay.
I don't know. I have some stuff out there on YouTube you can, find through my links and stuff. But yeah, come check us out at Joey's Big Reveal. Got a lot of great BTS, a lot of great stuff coming, and look out for Joey's Big Reveal at a film festival near you, hopefully very soon.
Yeah, nice. Well, congratulations on that being almost done, and can't wait to see the final film.
Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Tyler LaPlant from Nashua, New Hampshire, a filmmaker, and wonderful to have you here. We are almost out of time on the live show. Jenny, did you want to just quickly mention tonight what's happening tonight?
Absolutely. Please join Matt and I at the Mosaic Art Collective for the opening of Clear to Me. The gallery is located at 66 Hanover Street. I can't speak today. Suite 201 here in the Queen City. Matt and I will be there from 5 to 7. I hope you can come down and join us. And if you want more information on me and the good trouble I get up to, go to jencoffey.com, JENNCOFFBY.com.
And at my website, mattconnerton.com. And if you haven't been to mattconnerton.com recently, please check it out. It has been redesigned and it looks great. and you can book a hypnotherapy session with me. So I would love to hear from you. MattConnerton.com and Tyler LaPlant. Again, thank you so much, my friend. We will definitely do this again in the future.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that's going to do it for us for now. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.